So this is a 1997 Jeep TJ. I found a donor vehicle in the same color as mine, moss green, and I want it for the rear quarter panels and the rear sill. So I removed it with just a zip disc and went all the way around and brought it home and started removing the extra sheet metal that I had on it. And I'm showing you the process because there's not much videos out there. So here's some videos coming up. Enjoy. So this is a 97 Jeep TJ. I'm doing a little rust restoration. So I'm going to remove this rear cab corners and the bottom sill here. They're three separate pieces. I'm sick of looking at the rust and hard to find good videos on YouTube to show what I'm dealing with. So I'm going to try to document this the best I can. But anyway, I found a donor vehicle, same color, same year, except it was a 4-banger. I chopped the rear end off it. Has no rust, very minimal anyway. None that's not fixable before I install it. And so what I did is, you'll see a few pictures I'll add. I chopped the back off and gave myself like maybe 6 inches extra. And now I'm in the process of removing that 6 inches by using a flapper disc and a cutoff wheel. I'll flip this over after and show you what it looks like. But I just removed these bolts yesterday, had to drill them out. There's no way getting those suckers out. Even from the back, you'll see what it looks like. I tried penetrating oil, heat, they're just not coming out. So I'm going to take that door off, flip it over, and then start grinding off all the spot welds and try to get these to like an OEM style before I start chopping up my own. But these are actually 3 separate pieces. You got one there, then you have this bottom sill that runs from there to about there, then your second one. But I'm going to try to keep it all into one piece and figure out a way to install it. That's the goal anyway. Whether that happens or not, who knows. But yeah, I'll leave it here for now and I'll get this done, flip it over, and you can see what the other side looks like. So here's the back side of it. Took the door off, and you could see, well, this is what it looked like. So I cut it when I initially cut it. And this is your seam right here, where it's attached to your body, these panels. And you can see here where it's attached, all the spot welds. Spot welds on here also, goes across the top. This thing, the bottom sill, is spot welded, a bunch of spots to your rear panel there. So I'm going to try to keep that attached, but as you can see, I started removing this section on the bottom, grinding it all off, finding the spot welds, using my flapper discs, grinding out the spot welds, peeling back the metal, grinding them out, peeling it back, so on and so forth. It's tedious, but it works. For up here, you can see a couple spot welds. Here's 3 or 4 or 5. So what I'll do is chop off this piece of metal with a zip disc and then cut these out. And I did that all on the side here. So that's your one piece, just like I'll have to do over here. Find all the spot welds and go through that over there. You can see down here, this is where your bushing goes for your body lift. This is what it looks like. Well, I'll show you this one. This is what it should look like on the inside. This one piece that your body mounts will bolt up through. Great shape. This side, not so much. On the inside, it's came apart on me. So I'll have to fix this, do some work on that before that goes back in. But yeah, that's what that looks like. And I think tell you the truth, this piece, no, that's spot welded on. That comes off. I was just thinking that might be boxed in. It needs to stay boxed in. I hope it doesn't. If it does, oh well, I'll have to figure something out. But whatever it is, I cut it off. But anyway, that's where I'm at now. Might look into this a bit more here before I move any farther. If not, I'll have to get myself a piece of... Actually, you know what? I think that piece, that tacks right in. Once I have this removed, that is a part of my Jeep, and that gets tacked in there. I'll find what the original part looks like, the replacement part, and make sure I didn't cut off something from my donor part that I wasn't supposed to. But it's a learning experience, so it is what it is. Anyway, if that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do. That's what it looks like on the backside. You can see here where I remove my tailgates. It's a little clip. I tried to heat it and, PB blaster that. I heated it. Still couldn't drill out the bolts. Or couldn't get out the studs, so I had to drill them out. And that's just a spot that they corrode. Top one was in good shape. I thought I was going to get it out, but it didn't come out. Bottom one, rough shape. But that's what that looks like. So if anybody wants to know what these look like on the inside, if they want to tackle this job, this video should help you out a lot. Because you can't really see much of this stuff online. But I'm going to get to work, start grinding. Once I get it all separated, if I could do it all in one piece. I'll show you once I get there, but it's just going to be a lot of cutting, a lot of grinding, taking my time so I don't ruin the panels that I want to put on the back. So I don't want to do any painting. I'm trying to do this without any defects, but I'm bound to get them. But anyway, yeah, that's where I'm at. Fuck, I'm curious about this now. I'm thinking I might have cut off a piece that was not supposed to cut off. Anyway, see you in the next video. So, I got this section off here from the last video. Now, working on here. So I ground it down till I see the welds like that. Now, I've been actually grinding it, dump a little bit of water, grind it, dump a little water, trying to save the paint on the other side, see if it works. And I never tested this yet, but let's see if I went down far enough. Oh, look at that. It came off. No, this one's still, so you got a little bit of the welds staying there. And you'll see this shit all over the place. It's right there. It's like a glue. It's like a weld they use, like a JB Weld style putty. They stick it in corners. You'll see it all over the place. I had some here. There's some. Anyway, I just grind it off, pick it off. Some of it holds pretty good. Some of it comes off not so much. Like it just pops off easy. It's almost like just hardened bubble gum. Yeah, anyway, that's how I go about doing that. This side here so far, it's been probably maybe about an hour. I'm going to get that piece off and then call it a day and do the other side tomorrow. So this will be the last video before I'm done for the night. And I'll just show you that little gum I told you about that's in the corners. So I just zipped off this little bit of weld that was right there. It's ready to pop off. So it should come off with that. Oh, gum stayed on there. Anyway, that's what that looks like. It's like a, yeah, I don't know, it's like a JB Weld sort of. It's like a hard bubble gum. Some sort of bonding agent that they put on all the corners where they didn't weld it at the factory, didn't spot weld it. I might even use JB Weld for a lot more, actually, sections than where I see they've been using it. But we'll see once I get there. But anyway, that's where I got a little over an hour. Like I said, tomorrow will be that one. Then I'll probably do the middle sill piece the day after. What's today? Monday, so Tuesday I'll do that side. Wednesday I'll do the middle. That should be it. You want to get it looking just like about that, and should peel right out of there. Couldn't stop. I'm going to keep going. Finish this off tonight. Then just that one tomorrow. Well, there you go. That's definitely it for the night. So I got that all cleaned up. Got all the body of the that was still attached to this removed. This part was a little tricky, but looking at it for a while, you could figure it out. You'll see the seams, but this is your part that stays. This would be a part of the cross sill. So whatever, you'd have to look at the previous videos or pictures. Whatever is attached to this has to come off. This is all cross sill. Or rear sill, whatever you call it. Now coming to here, this seam, this is cross sill, rear sill. This part here will have to come off, which goes down underneath, and you see spot weld. Actually, not many. One there, and maybe only one there. 3 of them. Then up here, I didn't look yet, but I think there's, I'm not sure. I'll check that tomorrow. But yeah, that spot was definitely tricky, but that's what it looks like. If anybody's curious, here's that stupid concoction that Jeep made. That little guy floats in there inside his little pocket, which this one was in there. And when I was taking it out, when I was cutting it off the Jeep, I snapped the bolt, and obviously that thing's only welded by fucking really thin metal. So I'll have to get all that cleaned up, and I might just weld a big
nut right there. Take these things off completely and then just weld a big nut so I could screw up into it later. Something that's more permanent than those little flimsy things. But anyway, definitely a little time consuming and gotta focus on your patience, but I think I'm gonna be able to get it. Hopefully I didn't ruin the paint by grinding and causing that metal to heat up on the other side, but check that later. Yeah, this is what it looks like if you ever plan on tackling it. To be continued. It's a beautiful night. Try this one hand. A little tough. Have to stick with two, but you get the idea. And you can see here they got that seam sealer. Looks like in all the corners where they couldn't get a weld. So I'll do something similar later, but it picks away. It's not hard to come off. So it's the next day. I'm gonna get this side. So what I'm gonna do is, so the seam here is where it's all tack welded. You can kind of see them. See the tack welds there. So I'm going to cut it as low as I can here. Zip cut it. Same thing around here. Zip cut it as low as possible because there's that seam. And then also do the same. Zip cut as close to this as I can. And then I'll take the grinder and grind out all the spot welds and peel it apart. And it'll look just like this guy.
Well, I messed up. Didn't tie it or something. Anyway, started grinding out this section when that piece of metal connects to these other ones on the inside, just like this one, and you leave it. So you have this bottom piece, and this piece is encompassed to hold this guy. For some odd reason, I decided to start grinding that off. And I just caught myself. And here I tried to take a shortcut and fucking use my chisel and hammer it out, and I got underneath the weld. So I'm just gonna stop for the night. I've been working on this for, I don't know, maybe a little over an hour, maybe an hour. But yeah, time to quit before I fuck it up. More than I already have. So back at her again. It's the next night. Just wanted to show you what I usually grind them down to, something like that. And then I get under it and see if they pop off. Oh, and it doesn't look like I went down far enough on one side. So usually you just gotta kind of take a little extra off. Get under it. Oh, looks like I'm still connected just a little bit right there. What I've been doing is grinding and wetting it down with wet rag. See if I can do this in one hand just to show you it pop. There we go. So anyway, that one's pretty much off. This guy's almost off. Hard to do this sucker with one hand. Let me pause this. Anyway, got it. Seems like there was just a big weld right there. Probably because that's wasn't down here for the hinge for the back door or the back latch or whatever, but that's where the hinge was. So I must have put a big giant weld there. You can see another big guy there. Hopefully I'm not ruining the other side, but I'm still not flipping it over until I get it all off. Then I'll check to make sure I didn't ruin the paint. If it is ruined, well, I'll figure that out when I get there. Now to tackle this guy. I'm not going to show any more grinding. I'll just show whenever I'm done. Find the spot welds there. And then the fuck up I did yesterday. Take my time here and pick these pieces of metal apart. Well, got that section off. A couple little fuck ups. Gonna have to fix. Anyway, this middle piece here was a bit difficult. Drilled 3 holes, one through there, one through there, one there. And the rest, it's like kind of glued. So I gotta peel it, and where I didn't have my welds completely drilled through them. Peeling them off. Kind of going along it, peeling it up. Peeling it up anyway. Ripping it apart. Ripping it apart. Patience is key. And yeah. Patience is key. So that's what it looks like. Got it all completed. Few blemishes I gotta touch up. Got a little horny in a couple spots I gotta fix up. But all in all, I think it was a success. Definitely tried my patience. Did I have to do all that? I'm not sure. Possibly could have drilled out half of them, but didn't want to do it. So that's that. What I'll do is fix some of the metal work. Then I'll give it a good cleaning, sandpaper it down, and then I'll probably POR the POR 15 the inside. And then not sure if I'll wait to do that or might just leave that back there and start on this. Start tackling this sucker. Probably drill these out, remove my door first. And then looking at the other piece, I'll probably take a marker, mark these out where I want to cut it so I could see how to remove it without causing too much damage. And do sort of the same thing and kind of show you the way. And the goal is to put it all on in one piece, because when you buy it, this will be, your sill will be a separate piece than your cab corners. But yeah, that's the goal. And I just put a new hood on it because I kind of got a parts vehicle. Got a parts windshield frame here. That's sitting back there. Here's my old hood. So we'll do that down the road here too sometime. Anyway, for another day. But if anybody really needs to know what this looks like and how to start a process, give you some idea, because there's not a whole lot of information on what to look for on the inside. From what this video will show, maybe a bit overkill, who knows, but tons of spots to stop and pause and really get a good idea of what you're dealing with before you tackle it. If there's any questions, let me know, because I'll probably be on this for a few more days, just picking at it. It's Thursday now. I started this on Tuesday, I think. So, yeah, picking at it after work. If anybody watches this and they have any questions, probably got a week to get them out while I'm still doing it. Cheers. See you in the next one.